Hello everybody, I am so sorry I'm late. I've got a couple of confessions to make. Right, are you ready for this? This is what bedhead looks like, okay? So I'm just going to get rid of that. I've left my hairbrush in Peterborough, so I'm going to have a bit of a problem. And it was a bit late back last night. And then the other thing was, I actually, do you know, the guys have been doing a fantastic job of just keeping up with hair colour and grey and all, you know, and putting on the lashes and everything, and I just haven't managed to do anything. Carl managed to get me a hair dye from the supermarket, but it was nearly black, and then he got a bright red one, so I mixed them together and managed to get this. And then today I've come into work and I've got this lot. Look at it, this is like a beauty salon in a box. Oh, I'm so excited about it. It's going to take me hours and hours to do it, but I'm hoping that there'll be some kind of improvement for the next time I see you on air. So anyway, I've got my shoe ready. Promised that I'd show you how to make it. Massive thank you to everybody that watched us on Crate and Craft the last couple of days. We were so busy. You absolutely loved those exploding boxes. But I had lots of little questions about the shoe, and I know that Nancy didn't show us how to do it, so I thought I'd do that. And then at the end of this, I've actually got one. Whoops, I've got one as a giveaway. So I've got a shoe to do a giveaway. And if whoever wins it has already got the shoe, then we'll find you something else. So we'll make sure that everybody, or the person that wins, gets something. So the charisma sheet looks like this. So you're actually getting two shoes. So you get a pair on there. And I've already got it all cut out, and I've also got one that's started, so I can show you some of the steps as we go along. So I'm going to work with red liner tape. Now this is a challenge because the red liner tape is doesn't go around corners really well. However, it does hold it really strongly. So what I would suggest that is you put it only takes a few minutes to do, but you put little strips of it. So I'm going to just snip it and show you what I mean. So I'm going to put little pieces of it like this round my shoe. So these little bits here. And the reason I'm just putting little bits round is because then this will be the thing that will get the bond straight away, and then the wet glue will actually give us the perfect application. Now, you'll also notice this is the front of the shoe. So I may not have got those little bits of tape in exactly the right place that I need for the shoe. So what I've got to, by putting them out like that and then putting wet glue in between, I know that I'm going to catch it all the way round. So I'm just going to trim that little bit there because I've got too much of it. Let's take the back off these pieces. And this red tape's fantastic, but it does get really static. I'm sure you've all seen that. You get it stuck to your fingers, don't you? And then often the dog's walking around with it. And then you go to the bathroom and there's some on the bathroom floor and you think, where's that come from? So as we get all these little pieces off, so that's just the start of it. And I'm going to put a little bit more around here. And we've got to work out how we do this, and I can talk to you as well, because I know that you'll be, able to post messages, and I want to be able to say hello to you. So I'm going to have to work that one out, but at least we've worked out how to do the videos, hey? The first time we did this, it was a disaster. So I feel like my technology's getting better this week. I managed to work out how to get my emails on a new laptop. So, well, it wasn't that new, but it was a laptop that I'd not had emails on, and I actually managed to do it all by myself. It did take me 2 days, but at least I did it. So there I've taken, because that's a slightly longer strip, I've done that piece there. And then I've got this little bit of the heel that I want to do as well. Right, so let me put just a tiny bit of the tape again here. So, and it, you know, and in fact, let me show you what happens when you go round it and you don't, you can see, look, this is what happens, and you can make it work, but you've got to be really nimble with your fingers, so otherwise just let it cut. And so I'm pleating it, and what I'm doing underneath, and you'll see when I lift off the tape, the red liner, I'm actually making it go round like that. So this really is just get rid of that little piece under there. So going round, so I'm getting these little pleats in it, and then when the liner comes up, I'm just going to push those little pleats down before I actually stick it on. So both of these ways work. It's whatever works best for you, and you find you can be the most nimble at with your fingers. So there you go. So there, I've got it all the way round. I'm going to take that piece off there, and here I've put it on in pieces, and I'm going to put my wet glue in between to make sure I capture all the elements. Right now, so I've got my little shoes here, so I'm going to work with this one because this would be my personal preferred method, and make sure that I've got all of that together. Right, now you need to just fold in these little tabs, but make sure that as you're folding them in, what we don't want on the curve is to end up with a really straight line. So a little tip for you, get a tool, something with a rounded edge. So I like to I'm using my pokey tool because it's a hand, and look at the difference that has made to this one I've got here. So I've started to get that little curve. So when that sits on the shoe, it's going to sit on it really nicely. So I'm going to now tuck those under like that, and then pick this one up, and I'm just going to literally start at the front, and I go just over the edge. So there you can see I'm literally a couple of millimeters over that edge, and as you put these little tabs in, so let's get those down really well, you feed it round and put the tabs down. And what you don't want is a gap, so you don't want to be able to see daylight. So I'm going to show you what I can see on this side, and then I'll do the other side so you can't see it. You can see the daylight through here. And now I'm going to do the other side, and I just need to hold this up and look at it properly so I can see what I'm doing. Got a little bit of red liner tape there sneaked in. Told you that pesky stuff gets everywhere. And this one on this side, get you in there, get you in there, get you in there. You're going to see, can you see on the other side there's less daylight, so I've got a much tighter closure there. So I'm just going to now, using my fingers, and you can take a ball tool in here to do this, get a really good finish. Right, so a couple of things for you. Now we've done that, we've got it, and we've got a nice shoe shape. You can, if you want to line them, take one of the shoes that you've already cut, so take the second one of these, and you'll get a little tiny line round the edge where the die makes a small impression. If I trim to that line, it fits perfectly as an insole. So I'm going to make an insole into my shoe. Now, you don't have to do this, it's just me being, you know, trying to be a little bit picky about making sure I give you everything perfect. But that now fits perfectly in there, okay? So I'm going to push it in, but I'm not going to stick it down because I want to put the back on the shoe. So got that one, so that's there, so that's the inner, just leave that there. and let's put the back on. So the back, now this has got this lovely like little bit of shading on it as well, and these little tabs. And if I pick this one up, you can see here how it goes around the edge of the front of the shoe. So that's where you can put your little buttons and your straps and stuff and all the cute stuff that we do. So I'm just going to hold that. And again, I'm just going to shape it because it just makes it easier for it to actually sit on the shoe. So you see on this one hasn't been shaped. And look at how it's poking out at the sides. Whereas this one, having been shaped, gives us that lovely curve. Okay, makes it so easy to do. Right, so I'm just going to again place that. Let's make sure I get that along. Just check I've got it in the middle of the back. And then that little tab's going to tuck under there, so the front, that bit goes around. So you can see I've got that bit right. Just pull you around, and this one is going to go round the other way and tuck under there. And then now, just need to get you down, press down. And now I can press down the lining inside, but before I do, I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on it. So down here, got this lovely long nozzle on this glue pot, which is useful. Now I would normally, I like to try and send out what I've made, but I don't think that's a good idea with this. Well, actually, I guess we could put it in a little box, couldn't we? So that you could have it. Right, so now can you see how neat it looks inside? That's really exciting, isn't it? I know what I want to do. I want to give it a label inside. Let me find this bit of card. I'm going to cut a little label, like it's got the kind of shoe it is. So I've got a little bit of glue on there, and I'm just going to put that inside. Look, how cute is that? Oh, it's got a label. Right, now, so I need to bring the sides round and I need to stick these in place. So a little bit of liner tape. So let's see where I ended up. It's there. I get that. 2 bits here. I don't think you'll be seeing this because it's invisible almost. But put you down there. Oh, missed. That wasn't very good. I've missed. Putting it on the actual shoe bit there on the front of the shoe, and then pulling that round, so that's in place. We need one more piece, so the other bit got a bit screwed up. It's such good fun making little 3D projects. So this one is going to go, oops, on my thumb. Oh, I've got my happy lipstick on. I've just remembered. I put happy lipstick on today. I couldn't find my hairbrush, so I decided to have happy lipstick. Sorry, you lot think I'm mad, don't you? My husband does too. Right, so now we need to put the little strap on. Oops, how cute is this? Oh, I just love this. This is just the cutest little thing. So let's put a bit of tape, so, and a little bit of tape on the other side. So what I'm going to do here and now, this is where, when you want a perfectly really strong bond, of course using wet glue, this isn't going to stick firmly unless we hold it for a second. So what I'm going to do is use the red liner to hold it, and then put you there to there, and then I've got a little button. I'm going to put a little blob of glue on my button, pick that up, put it there. How cute is that? You get 3 sizes of buttons. Now you do get these little flowers, which I think would look really nice on here. But I don't want to do that. I want to actually, first of all, I'm going to put a sock in it, and then I'm going to add some other flowers. So I've got some different ribbons, and I'm going to use this one. So this is just a piece of lace, and I'm going to, and this wasn't my idea, by the way, I should just mention, I'm actually not even quite sure, I don't remember looking on the card to see who did do it, but I'll check with one of the design team did this, and just a great job. It was a lovely idea. So I'm going to put a piece across the front. So to do that, I'm going to get some liner tape here, oops, and on the other side. Hello everybody. If you've, I don't know whether you joined us at the beginning or in the middle or when, but it's really good to have your company. I've got my happy lipstick on, and I'm excited because I've had a parcel delivered that is beauty supplies. So I'm going to have a busy couple of evenings doing that. Oh, and the other thing is, next week, I've just remembered, I've got a signature collection, and I am a little bit excited about this one because it is some of my favourite kinds of things. So now this is a little bit fiddly to do, and I'm just going to lift that so I can get my finger in, but it's worth it. So this is the front of my sock. Okay, so it needs to fill the front of the shoe like that. So I'll just bring that shoe down a little bit more so it fills the front, and then it's the top bit, and I need a little ring, and that is going to stick in there. All right, let's have the lacy bit, the patterned bit at the top. So all you need is a little bit of ribbon to make a sock. I just think that is such a fab thing to do, isn't it? Oh gosh, it is just, making these projects is just such fun, but it's also, the thing is, it makes us all smile, which is really exciting. But I want to show you a couple of other things. So I'm going to go back into, well, first of all, this is the table that we had in a collection about a week ago, I think it was. So imagine having a pair of shoes displayed on the table. And all I've done is trim off the piece that was like made the vase. And you could have a little pair of shoes on here, couldn't you? So that's one idea. But then the other idea is, and I've got a load of flowers that I've made. Here, I'm going to take all this out. And just take this out, I just want to show you this. And I'm going to fill it with some flowers. So I just need to take off. So I've got to decide where they're going to go. Right, so I'm just snipping around the decoupage because this has already been made up, this one. And I need the height, so I want to actually so I'm using it as like a little container. So let me go into my stash of flowers because I've got loads of them. And pick some that I really like. Yeah, these ones. So I'm now going to trim off again. Let's trim a bit more off. Do you notice the angle I use my scissors at? I always do that because it gives you a much easier way of working with them. Right, just need to have a quick little look at this myself. Right, we're ready. So a little bit of glue. Make it hold you together. There. Put that in the back and hold it in place. I love doing this. I'm surrounded by all this stuff. Oh yeah, I was telling you on Wednesday next week, I've got a new signature collection, which I'm pretty excited about. and I've got a paper kit as well, which is going to be really nice, but it's foiled and the flowers are beautiful. So I'm looking forward to sharing that one with you. Right, I think, you know when I said to you about the wet glue and the having to hold it, that's why that red liner tape's so useful, because I'm having to hold this for a couple of seconds to get it. It still doesn't want to stick, so let's put a bit more glue on. I probably haven't got it enough in the right place. Just hold that for a second. There, you're going to stay for me. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to put these on the front. So I've actually got them on the front. So I think I might have made those too high. I have. Excuse me doing this, guys. Oh, this might be too late. It is too late. That's why you should really check everything before you glue it down. I think I'm thinking I would have liked those flowers a little bit lower, but never mind. I've got what I've got now. So I'm going to put these on the front. Just hold that for a second. Come on, flowers, do behave, do what I need you to do. Oh, it doesn't want to stick. Right, back to our red liner. You know, this good old stuff. You know when I said you need, this is what happens when you're impatient like I am. Okay, so the red liner, it just gives it time for that glue to then catch and stick. And I bet if we timed it, I've only probably left it about 5 seconds, but you know what? I'm in a rush to show you all this stuff. And one of the things that happens when I'm crafting is I really do sort of come up with the ideas as I go along. Now I need to make sure I get this in the same place because I've got a little bit of glue on my shoe. So, right, you're stuck there. A little bit of glue there now to stick. Trim off the edge of that because that's going to be so I think I just need a little bit more. See how we're starting to build the design and put all of the elements in. I've just made it into like a little old shoe that you've just been able to put your flowers in. Let's just have a little look and see. I've just found a couple more that I think could be quite good. So I'm going to get rid of that one. And so what I'm doing as I'm doing this, I'm imagining what this shape's going to look like in there. So I'm just snipping out the ones that I want. Don't want that B. Get rid of you. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to tuck it kind of there. Put that piece there. So it's filled. I'm actually quite pleased with that. So we can put socks in them, we can fill them with flowers, we can put, you can put little sweeties in them, but little tricks. So if you're taking the red liner tape round, actually you need to run it round, then go back when you've taken the liner off and push it down. But I think I proved there a couple of times where if you don't actually use this, this just will not hold it, and that's a real frustration when you're starting to go around it. It's great to actually hold it in place when you've finished. And then I just want to take this out here so you can see inside and look at how neat it looks compared to seeing the little tabs. So my biggest top tip is to take that base and just trim around the edge where you can see where the line of the die is and make sure that it actually is all really neat and tidy. And I think I need to give the flowers a haircut. Oh, actually, talking about haircuts, I think that's something I might need to have a go at myself at the weekend. Who knows what I could look like next week. But it'll be interesting to see, won't it? Well, you'll have to tune in on Wednesday because that's when I'm back on air and we'll see what's happened. I'm wondering how short I should go. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Thank you so much for joining in. And, well, I look forward to seeing you again ever so soon. Oh, and don't forget, that giveaway. Don't want you to miss out on that.